I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love and appreciate it. Now, can you dig it? Let's get it.
What's up, Cowboys Nation? What is up, Cowboys Nation? Been a long day. Well, a long night, I should say. Starting off a little late today. I don't know, man. If you guys watched that fight last night, I was kind of surprised. I thought it'd be a little bit better. That Crawford, man, he's the real deal, man. Good morning, Vince. Hope everything's going good. Glad to see you joining me this morning. Like I said, it was a long night watching that fight. I was hoping Spence would win. He's a Cowboy, right? So you got to root for your Cowboys. But Crawford looked like he's a real deal, man. He he put a hurting on him, and they were talked about doing a rematch. I don't know if Spence wants to go ahead and get that rematch. I'd probably maybe go on to something else, wait a little bit longer, maybe fight someone else. I don't know if I'd want to go through that again. Unless the payday is good, then of course it is. So hey, man, it is morning time in Cowboys Nation. Make sure you guys hit that like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, man. We're having a lot of great content, a lot of fun. Dropped another top five in my little series I've been doing. We just did the top five pass rushers in Cowboys history. That was a lot of fun. This week, of course, we're going live with Jimmy D on Monday. And then we got the Chuck Howley with his son Scott Howley interview dropping on Tuesday. And then we've got Kyle Yeomans of DallasCowboy.com coming in with Kelly and I into the cave, talk some Cowboys training camp, get a street level, boots on the ground view of what's going on with training camp, some thoughts. So we got a lot of stuff in store. So if you're new to the show, new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe. If you're not, hit that like button. And again, appreciate all the love. We're having a great time. And also, last PSA is we got a fantasy football show coming. I'll be sneaking in every now and then, but it's four dudes, four good friends of mine. They're going to be dropping. One's my son, so more than a friend, and they did a little trial run last night. It sounded awesome, so they're going to be doing that probably live on Tuesday night. So, man, we got you covered, man. You don't need ESPN. You don't need NFL Network. You don't need all this garbage, man. You come out of the cave, and we got all the bases covered, especially when it comes to football. What's up, Troy, man? Hope everything's going good. Hopefully you enjoyed the fight. I enjoyed it, but it wasn't the outcome that I was hoping for. So, talking about training camp, we're almost a weekend. Got everything started. And you're starting to hear the whispers, who's standing out, who's doing this. And the one area I think a lot of us, maybe question was in that wide receiver. You got Gallup, who's going to go after that? And it just looks like Jalen Tolbert is hitting his stride after that first year. And the one thing I'll say, it's been talked about, but I have friends who played at South Alabama. And he was new to football. He didn't start playing 11th grade, and I think he struggled sometimes with with playbook, getting everything together and doing all of that. So I think maybe there was just a learning curve with him in his rookie season. So I don't want to call it like a red shirt year, but maybe it was just kind of getting things going. And then maybe with Dak getting hurt, it didn't help it. But everything out there right now, man, showing that he's showing what I think all of us thought he could be when we drafted him. Last season. So I think great things for Jalen Tolbert. Also, good sign for receivers. You're seeing Turpin out there, on the offense. And when you got weapons, man, you got to use them, right, man? You just got to, you don't want to leave anyone sitting on the ground. You got to come up with some plays for them. So I am awesome. It's awesome to see that. Let's see what my man Troy said. Not the outcome I wanted. I didn't see UFC, so someone have to educate me on it. You'd have to educate me on that. I watched the boxing one. I'm more of a boxing guy. I like UFC, but I like anytime there's a big boxing fight, I'm usually watching that. If not, I'll watch UFC. I do like that too, but yeah, more of a historically boxing guy. But anyway, so Turpin is getting on offense. So I think that's a great sign. You're starting to see, McCarthy's going to be doing things his way. Schottenheimer's obviously the OC, but McCarthy's got his stamp on it. So it's getting his playmakers on the field making plays, and that's what it's all about. The other thing that of course, people, it's gone viral, and social media makes a lot of fun of it, is Deuce Vaughn, 5'5", running back. I mean, he does look small out there. I mean, you can't avoid that, but he's the real deal. And he's just another weapon that the Cowboys are going to have on offense. And you can never have enough weapons, man, not on offense. So I'm excited. I don't know about you guys, man. We need to get this thing rolling. We're actually, I think the first preseason game's August 12th. It's a Saturday. So talk to Kelly, talk to Jimmy. We are going to just do a live show during the game. People, set your video cameras, set in, pop in. We're going to have a link where you guys can just come in and chill with us. Come and go as you please. It's going to be a good time, and just, watching the first game and kind of seeing what's happening. Hopefully, I know a lot of people want to see the starters in there a little bit. I don't think that's going to happen, but it will be. But yeah, I was just talking about Jalen Tolbert. I think he is, not to repeat myself too much, but I think he's starting to show the signs of what we were, what we drafted, and the talent he has. Like I said, a friend of mine played at South Alabama. I watch a lot of South Alabama games. I was always high on him, and he had told me, "Hey, man, Dallas is, they've been talking to him, this and that." So I was excited to see him come to the Cowboys. I think some things could have went better. Obviously, the Cowboys traded Cooper. Did that put a lot of pressure on him? Now you got CD, and Jalen was kind of expected to be that 2-3 with Gallup coming off that injury. So I just don't know if last year was really set up for him well. I think kind of like a redshirt year, but you're starting to see the playmaker, you're starting to see the confidence that you expected in him. So I'm excited about that. Trading for Kelly. Yeah, I saw that. He's unhappy. He wants to trade. Here's the problem. He wants to get paid. And the Cowboys I think they've shown they're not going to pay the running backs. I don't think any team right now has shown they're not going to pay the running backs. So I don't know that would happen. If they got him on a 1 year, got him, and I don't know what his contract is. Maybe you guys can let me know if he's on his last year or whatever. But I expected he wants to get traded because he wants to get paid. And I think those days might be numbered for running backs. It's like Etienne came out and he talked about McCaffrey. McCaffrey got paid. McCaffrey does, he's a wide receiver, he's a running, but does it all. And I think versatility is what you're going to see more and more with these running backs if they want to get that second contract. I think just being a great running back and adding nothing else is going to be a problem. And when I mean adding something else, I'm talking about McCaffrey's pretty special out of the backfield. I think Pollard can be that guy out of the backfield as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how Pollard does this season and how they use him. But I'm a running back guy, so I'm not happy for the running backs. I feel bad for them, but it's a business. So. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. And, we talked about it. I had Anthony Dorsett on the show. If any of you new people, you hadn't seen it, definitely go check it out. We talked about Tony Dorsett. I mean, anyone at least in my era, I mean, that's why you're a Cowboys fan. Tony Dorsett was the first guy you remember. He was an icon of this and that. And we had a great conversation about not only Anthony's career playing in a couple Super Bowls, but also his dad and some of the things that, found out a couple things that bothered him was obviously 33 is being handed out, and it has been handed out to other players, not in a special way like 88. It's just it's really gone to some defensive guys and special teams guys and third string cornerbacks and things like that, which is a little disappointing when you think of what Tony Dorsett meant to the Cowboys franchise. But anyway, I digress. So let's see what we got in the chat, man. That's just a chill time chat. Cowboys second round pick, $7 million payday. Who Schoonmaker had fasciitis, is not practicing. So far, this pick looks worse and worse. I know. I didn't think we needed a tight end. I was pretty happy with Ferguson and Hendershot. But it just seemed to be the buzz. Everything that I've heard about Schoonmaker, he's going to be even better than Schultz, which, I know that's not a high ceiling, but Schultz was good. He made some clutch catches. I just didn't like when he caught the ball. I wish he would just go down because he fumbled all the time. But I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to wait and see what happens. But he is older too. I mean, I think he's like 25 years old or something. So it's going to be interesting to see how that works out. If it doesn't, that's going to be obviously a disappointing pick because you had guys there that we could have got offensive line depth that I think all of us are a little bit concerned about what's behind there. So yeah, that pick it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Preseason all about red wine. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping. I haven't really heard much about him out there, so I'd love to see him. I'd love to see him get on the team, man. It's just I haven't seen a whole lot. Traded third round in Davis and Rollins Jones, tag him after the season. Yeah, I mean, me again. I would do that. I just don't know, if that's what he wants, and I'm not sure what leverage and what you're gonna, what they're gonna do, but. Um, I'm like you. I'm a win now. So, like I said, Dalvin Cook, I know he's put some things out there trying to get to Dallas. If the price is right, I have no issues with the Cowboys going to get a veteran running back. You see Zeke, is up in New England. That's actually that's a pretty good spot for him. If it worked out. Now on the flip side, we play New England. We play him in Dallas. I'm going to that game, so that would be that'd be a tough thing to see, but it is what it is. But I want the best for Zeke. I'm a Zeke fan. I think there's a spot for him in the NFL. I think there's a spot for him on the Cowboys personally, but I think that ship has obviously sailed. But I think hopefully he lands somewhere and maybe he proves some of his doubters wrong and has a solid year. I mean, I look back at it as everyone dogged him, but man, he still had almost 900 yards, 12 touchdowns. That's good production. Yards per carry were down, but I was even watching in some of those games where he was being productive in the way he was being used. But now it's a two system running back, so you're not going to get those big numbers. It's running backs, at least the way I always remembered them was like Emmitt Smith got stronger as the game kept going, and that's where he would do his damage in the third and fourth quarter, kind of wear him down in the first half. So I think when you're splitting carries and doing all that, I think you lose a little bit. I think you lose a little bit of that. So yeah. So let's see what's going on. Yeah, that Dak, you see, is on point receivers. Yeah, I'm telling you, man. I'm loving what I'm seeing, especially from the offense. Now you saw Parsons; he's been making the rounds on a lot of the shows and stuff, and he's saying the defensive dominating, which I mean that's typically how it works in training camp. But also, he said we're the best team in the NFC, and I think I mean, what are you supposed to say? Are you supposed to say somebody's better? Um, you got to be the best, man. That's the way I look at it. I always laugh at people and say, "Oh man, you're just here we go again, another year." Man, what the hell are you supposed to say? We got the team that can do it. I mean, there's no doubt you can't look at our roster and you can't look at back-to-back 12-win seasons and say this team isn't capable of going to the Super Bowl and winning it. So they just got to get over that hump. And I just firmly believe the changes that they've made, the additions that they've made. Obviously, what Gilmore is going to be huge. Just to, Seaback talk about the offense and how they're looking. I mean, Brandon Cooks. I mean, him and Dak just look like they've been playing together for 10 years. And you obviously CD. I think CD is just going to go to another level. I mean, you're going to just see even bigger numbers from him. Gallup's now another year removed from that injury, so he should be back to form. Then if you get Tolbert as your fourth receiver, I mean, that's gonna be it. And don't even mention the tight ends. And then of course you got Turpin if you put him into some situational stuff. And then you got Deuce Vaughn. Pollard obviously doing his thing. I mean, they are just weapons all across the field, and these defenses are going to have some trouble. And I think with the offense that McCarthy's going to run is going to put them in position to be successful. Situational football, like I said, you look at the Cowboys, and any Cowboy fan knows it. Top-ranked offense, top this, top that on offense. But anyone who watches the games, like, man, we did not have the best offense in the NFL. There's no way. I mean, we loaded up some stats, in spurts. But when it came, nut cutting time and we needed a go-to play, we needed our bread and butter, we really didn't have one. I mean, goddamn, they put Zeke at center on the most important play, which, yeah, it's a miracle. You need a miracle to do it, but that's the best that we came up with. I mean, that's the best Kellen Moore can come up with, that play. So that's what I'm saying is I think what McCarthy's going to bring on the offense is what we should have had, and he should have had that long ago. So let's see what we got, man. I hope Zeke don't go to the Patriots. They suck. Rather Zeke go to the Bengals. Yeah, I tell you, the Patriots, don't sleep on them. I mean, I don't think they're a Super Bowl contender by any stretch, but that they're going to be an interesting team, and they're going to be no cakewalk for us. I promise you that. I would like to see Zeke go to a team. You said the Bengals, Chiefs. No one in the NFC, please, but one of those AFC teams where he does, he would have a chance to compete for a championship. So yeah, I definitely would agree to that. And goal line pass block, no, and that's the key right there. He got a lot of dirty yards, and his pass protection is the best in football. I mean, no one can argue that. If they could get, like I said, if the price was right, and I don't know what the right price is. Obviously, I don't know what the right price is for Jerry, for Steven, for the Cowboys, for Zeke. But if the right price was there, I would bring him back. Now, I know the ship has sailed. It's not going to happen, but I'm looking at what we have now. And I love Pollard, obviously. I think Vaughn's going to be good. I'm still, Malik Davis, I think he can be that guy, but we just don't know. I mean, it's an unknown. And I would much rather go in the season with some knowns. And I know it's a young man's game at running back, so he's got a lot of juice. Them legs are young. So it may turn out to be he's a superstar, and I hope he is. Make no mistake about it. Whoever we're lining up, that's what I want. So I would. It's going to be. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. But if there's a veteran out there, man, I would. I would jump on it. I would jump on it. Zeke to the Chiefs for fantasy football glory. Yeah, he probably get a lot of touchdowns. I don't know if the rushing yards aren't going to help, but he definitely going to get some. He's definitely going to get some touchdowns. Yeah, I don't think Jerry has too much pride. I don't think it was. I don't. I think Jerry would have brought him back. I think it was Steven and them. And it was the price. I mean, you're talking. It's a business, so let's just be honest. I mean, the production for what the pay was not there. I mean, it's sad to say, but it's a business, right? Football's a business. We all got to take our fan hats off a little bit, and that's why in the off season I just lay low. You don't really see me post a lot of tweets and get flipped out over this guy's getting cut or this guy. I just got to let things play out because that's the business side of it, and I don't want to get in the middle of the business side. So. But I think at the right price, he would bring Zeke back without a problem. I mean, he's marketable, and Jerry loves marketing. He's been a long time Cowboy. Jerry's known to be very loyal to those Cowboys, especially his era Cowboys, and that's what we always talked about. Talked about it with Anthony Dorsett about his father. You talk about with Eugene Lockhart. You talk about some of these old Cowboys. It seems like the non-Jerry generation gets treated just a little bit different than Jerry's generation. Jerry's always been pretty loyal to his guys, especially if they've been high producers, with him. And Zeke, I mean, 2 NFL rushing titles. He's what is he? Is he second? Is he second now? And no, he'd be 30 behind Tony Dorsett. So he's probably third all time Cowboys rushing. So anyway. Yeah. So how was it, man? How was camp yesterday? I haven't been to camp. Is it worth going? Is it a little crazy? Do you get any interaction with the players? Are they signing autographs? Are they mingling with the fans? It's a bucket list thing. Is it not too hot? Because it's hot as hell in Florida. I wouldn't mind a little trip out there. Definitely want to hit camp. I heard they're charging. So how's all that working out? So definitely, let me know. Let me know what you think about your experience, and if you saw anything good there that we haven't seen on social media. You could be my man to tell me what's going on. So McCarthy calling plays this year. Oh, I'm all in. I'm just telling you. If you're on the fence, jump on the other side, man. Be all in because it's going to be a lot better than what we had. Like I said before, don't want to repeat it, but I think situational football, that's where McCarthy is going to shine. Everyone talks about, McCarthy only won the Super Bowl because of Aaron Rodgers, yada, yada, yada. Well, Aaron Rodgers hadn't won another one since, so maybe Aaron Rodgers won the Super Bowl because of McCarthy. So, we'll see what happens. But McCarthy's been successful everywhere he's gone, calling plays, back in New Orleans, San Francisco. I mean, you go back to the Chiefs. He wasn't calling plays there, but he was working with Montana, and he did a quarterback school. I mean, you can go back and look a lot of his old. You find him on YouTube. He knows the quarterback position. He knows offense. So I have zero concern about our offense being productive. Now, does that mean we're going to win the Super Bowl? I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's all about, ultimately the players on the field decide that more than the coaches. So, but I think he's going to be able to put them in positions to win. I think what he's going to do is take some of those, those option routes. I know they got rid of those where it's, the receiver and the quarterback got to be on point. And if they're not, trouble can happen. Hence, you saw a lot of trouble with the interceptions and tip pass. A lot of those tip passes where this guy's over here, he's thinking he's going this way, that way, and they're off just a little bit, and then you end up getting it. So I'm all in on it, man. Don't worry about it. So let's see, what do we got? Let's see, bud. If you hang out in the fence, you can get some stuff signed. Better get the VIP, and you get on the field, side fence line. Everyone was doing signatures. No, that's cool, man. I wish I was. Wish my kid was younger and I was younger to really enjoy that. But definitely, maybe I'll get out there next year. Maybe I have to do it. Maybe I have to. I'm gonna have to do it. Just bite the bullet. How the hotel situations there? How much are they? That's the other thing. I went to camp in the summer of '98. Wichita, I imagine Oxnard is a little nicer. Yeah. Those are the old days, man. Those are the old days. Zeke was going to make some money playing for the Cowboys in 22. And Chris McCaffrey is going to make this season playing for San Francisco. Yep, way too much. It's a business. Got no issues with that. Camp was worth it last year. This year, with the new stuff, not worth it at all. Just wait for the game. VIP is $150 a day. Not worth it. Well, $150. Now, I mean, the only thing I would say is if I'm flying out there and I want to, and it's one of those, I don't live there. It's a bucket list kind of thing. I'll spend the 150. I'm just being honest. I'd probably spend the 150. That's where I think they get it because the Cowboys aren't stupid. They know they get a lot of out of town people flying in to do training camp. People going there. It's not you obviously got your locals, but you probably get a good influx of people flying in for it. So they know how to work it. And if someone's flying in $150, they can be like, you know what? It's just like when I go to when my kids are younger, we'd go to Universal. I'm not waiting in no damn line for 2 hours. I'll get the fast pass. I'm not sitting out in Florida in July. If I'm going, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and spend the extra money and make sure I maximize my adventure there, and also ain't waiting in line going on 4 rides in 8 hours. So so definitely. Let's see. Tag to the Super Bowl. Yeah, I know, man. I'd love to go to the Super Bowl. I ain't paying 10 G's to go to the Super Bowl. Let's just be honest. But yeah, I would love to do that. I don't know how they picked a super fan because I look at it and I see all of us and not even just me, but just everywhere seeing some of these fans. I mean, we got some passionate fans. I don't want to say whoever was the super fan this year, last year, year before, whatever is not. But sometimes I don't know who they are. So I guess we'll see. Let's see here. And we got Clarence. Of course, Clarence agrees, man. You gotta agree with that. So again, anyone jumping on new, we do have a fantasy football show going to be starting on, I think, Tuesday live. It's going to be great. They did a little dry run. You got four guys with personality, but they know their football, so it's going to be fun. I'll be popping in every now and then. You might see Kelly, and we're going to actually do a fantasy football Cowboys Cave team. So we'll probably do like a live draft and crack on each other and do whatever else. So it'll be a lot of fun. And also, if you guys don't know, your boy's on Cameo. Actually did 2 fantasy football draft selection cameos this past weekend. So any of you fantasy football guys that have a league and you need your boy to do the draft order, make fun of somebody, any of that stuff, you can find me on Cameo. I think they're doing a Christmas in July special, where I think Cameo's giving everyone a big discount to do it. Doesn't affect me, so you can definitely take advantage of that, save a few bucks. So anyway, you get nominated, then it's a selection process. So maybe they don't like me. Maybe they don't like me. It could be that way. Miss Price is definitely the Cowboys super. Yeah, has she been a super fan? I don't even know, but I remember her forever. I mean, way back, definitely a super fan. So, but yeah, let's see. You gotta nominate me a few personal questions. What are they asking here? What do they want to know? My social security number? They're trying to get me? I don't know. But yeah, either way, man, I just love being a Cowboys fan. So it don't matter. It's a great thing. So what other things in training camp have you guys, it's caught your eye? Maybe defense. I mean, I'm hearing Overshown. I'm hearing a lot of hype with him. Obviously, Eric Scott Jr., our draft pick cornerback. What are we going to do in the secondary? I mean, we've got a lot of guys there, a lot of names. Somebody's got to go. Is that going to be Kelvin Joseph? Is it going to be Wright? Is it going to be both of them? It's going to be interesting to see how some of these camp battles play out. We'll be talking about it more. Like I said, we got Kyle Yeomans coming in from DallasCowboy.com, coming into Cave with Kelly and I on Wednesday. So we're going to get into a lot of these camp battles and what's happening, how this team's shaking out. Because, with a 53-man roster, I mean, it's a good problem to have, but we got a lot of talent on this team, and somebody's got to go somewhere. I think receiver is another one. I mean, you can only, if you're keeping Turpin, which I would think they are, now they're putting him in, some offensive packages that we all thought he should. Some of them receivers ain't going to make it. I mean, you're probably only going to keep 6 receivers. So some guys, they may try and see if they can stash them on the practice squad, or they're going to be some guys lost. So it's going to be interesting. Let's see. I thought I saw over Turpin. I heard he was nasty. I saw some highlight, clips of him. So I think, yeah, like I said, playmaker. Overshown looks so tall, lengthy, had good speed and some power. So yeah, he's, linebacker is interesting because we kind of, you got Parsons, but we most of us don't count him as a linebacker. I mean, he's a pass rusher. So you really got LVE, and then you've got some other guys that hopefully will fit the bill. But Jabril Cox seems like he could be kind of the odd man out there. And everyone was so high on him coming off the injuries, and I'm having a brain, number 33 of, I was thinking Torter set, and you got Harper. You've got some linebackers there that just, they're not, the experience isn't there, but they got a lot of youth and a lot of speed. So linebacker was one of the areas of concern. But I think, man, with some of the youth we have, I think it's going to be, it's going to be interesting. Yeah, let's see, Turpin could shake anyway. That's going to be interesting. You get him and because he's not a big dude either. You get him and Deuce on the field. That'll be interesting. LVE look good. I hope he stays healthy. I hope everything works out good with him. I definitely want big things from LVE. He's going to be that anchor. He's going to be kind of the leader of that linebacking core, that veteran presence that we need. And good morning, Angelicus. Glad to see you're up. We've been kicking it. And I'm sorry, I think Boss Man experiment should be over. Yeah, don't tell my son that, but I mean, the only thing he could save him, the only thing that could save him is his special teams. But, he hasn't been awesome on special. He has a lot of penalties on special teams, but everyone goes back to that San Francisco game. Great play, he made there. And you're getting, good. Is it? Yeah, Goodwin is getting older. So, maybe he's, maybe his money's getting a little too high because that takes a spot at cornerback. And if you think Kelvin Joseph might give you a little bit more at cornerback, some depth, then maybe you would take him over Goodwin. So it would just be interesting to see what happens. Overshown is a hybrid size and weight. He's a beast of Texas. Yeah, I didn't see him at Texas. I'm a Miami guy, so I didn't get a chance to see him, but I've heard great things. The only thing I saw, like Darren Woodson said, he probably, any advice he'd give him, would eat, get bigger, especially if he's going to be, used as a hybrid pass rusher. Probably want to get a little bit more size on him. But we need some nasty, man. So hopefully his Deuce looked like a little person. I know. People were having fun with it. Then he had they wear that padded helmet thing. He looked like that little Super Mario, game. So yeah, people are having a lot of fun with it, but man, the dude can play. And I tell you what, uh, anybody that's that size playing running back has got some heart and is a bad dude. Because I mean, that's a position where you take a beating, And for him to, the dude's tough. So I can't wait to see him out on the field. I think people are going to be, Darren Sproles is the guy that, again, he's always going to get compared to Darren Sproles, K-State, smaller guy. But the thing and I'm pretty sure about it, I hadn't looked at it, but I think the thing at Deuce, if you look at him, man, he looks like a bowling ball, man. He is, his legs. I mean, he's a big, he's short, but he's a thick dude, and he's not. I don't think he's going to be that easy to bring down. And you get him behind our offensive line, that's going to be some problems for some defenses. I forgot what player we had on. We were talking about him, and he said one of the problems that these defensive guys, they're bigger. It's hard for him to get low. It's hard for him to get low, that center of gravity, and get down there and get, be at his level. Because I think he's 5'5", man. When he's scooting down, he's probably like 4'10" or something like that. So he's going to be a problem with Wilson and Izzy out there. Curious to see how the safety depth performs in preseason. Yeah, I know my man Tuck is high on Bell, and I think with the injury, that you got with Wilson, he's pretty much going to be out, for a few weeks, probably, some of preseason. It creates opportunity for one of those guys to come up. I like Izzy. I think he's got some versatility. It's going to be one of those things, again, with a cornerback. You can maybe, you have one less cornerback, because Izzy's one of those guys that can play that position as well. And that's why I think they looked at Joseph, maybe putting him at safety, these hybrid roles. I think as these offenses are, getting spread out more and it's all passing, you're starting to see these hybrids where these linebackers or safety linebacker kind of thing. So it's going to be interesting. Deuce was super fast. Hands look good. No, I mean, and he's played against big competition. I mean, it wasn't like this dude was playing in some, Division III school. I mean, he played at K-State, but I mean, he played against Alabama. He was in the Big 12 championship I went to see. I mean, he's made big plays against big time colleges. So him being able to compete at this level, I got no concerns. I got no surprises, at all. I'll be happy with Turpin returns and some couple opportunities. Yeah, I mean, should have turned right, man. That would have changed everything. That's the only thing I kill him on. But he's 220, so overshown. I'm guessing Jeff's saying he's 220. Yeah, that's you're going up against some 300-pound tackle. It might be throwing you around a little bit, but I mean, he's going to he'll put on some size. So Deuce and I are the same height, and that's what I'm talking about. Well, I know you. I mean, I've seen Steve. I don't know if you guys follow Steve, man. My man is he's ready. He might be ready to take on Spence. I don't know, man. He looks like he's fit. He's been working out, getting in shape, and I don't know if he's getting in shape for the season, for the Canes. For the Cowboys, we got to toughen up, right? We got, everyone's doubting our Canes. Don't know if we're going to be able to get it done, but I know Steve believes, so maybe he's getting ready for that battle. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, hybrid as a safety. That's definitely what Overshown. I think he's going to bring some versatility to it. We don't need Knowles talk. We don't want no Knowles talk in here. I'm debating on going to that Knowles Miami game. I don't know. I missed the Miami game I was supposed to go to last year. Tuck was there. I think we were like 14 deep at that game. And I had a work function I couldn't get out of. And so I ended up not going. And thank God I didn't. It was an absolute thrashing. So I don't know. But I've had some luck in Tallahassee. I'm trying to think the games in Tallahassee. I don't think I've seen us lose to Florida State in Tallahassee. Now, a lot of the games I went to were in the 2000s, in the early 2000s, when they were, we had the ultimate team. But I did go, and it was funny because we had Malik Rozier on, and I didn't even think about it when I had him come on. But I was looking back, and I was at that game in Tallahassee where we beat them on the last play. Malik threw that touchdown pass right in the front of the end zone. Ended up winning, ripping their hearts out. So that was good times. I don't know if we'll have. I don't have to do that. So yeah, we'll do. I'll always do that bet. That'll ensure that I win because Jeff jinxes his team. So definitely got to take care of that. So it'll be fun. Florida State, man, top 5. I think their preseason rank. They look like, it's going to be interesting. A lot of us thought Miami and Florida State were kind of at the same level last year. And Florida State, obviously with a quarterback play, jumped way up. I mean, they wanted the coach gone. Now all of a sudden he's a hero. So how quickly it can change. And Mario, our coach, was the hero. And then after last year, 1 year in, everyone wanted him gone. But I think both programs, they're going to get going. You need Miami, Florida State to be top teams in college football. It makes everything better. I mean, I'm not saying that because I'm live in Florida, and I'm a fan of it, but I think it does. I think it makes college football better. Just like Notre Dame, as much as we all hate Notre Dame, unless you're a fan, of course, college football is better when Notre Dame's good. It just brings more excitement. It brings more drama. It brings more all that stuff. So, yeah. Those are looking good. Not going to hate on them. And let's see. Next year, I'm going to have the VIP for the training camp. Yeah, I'm thinking, man, if you got to do it, you're just going to have to. You got to suck it up and get that. I mean, you just got to do it. I love them both, but who you like better, Hooker or Curse? Me personally, I think Curse. I just like what he bring. Now both of them are good. So it's when I get in this Aikman Romo thing, it makes people think I'm bashing Romo. I love Romo. Don't get me wrong. I'm looking at his jersey in the cave, but for me, I think for the type of player and the defense we want, I like Curse. I do. I just think he brings something, and he's just. But both of them are good. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to. I always get in trouble when you compare Cowboys. It's like hurting your own. You end up pissing half of the group off. But I definitely I like Hurst. But Hooker's going to get the job done. He came on later, right? He started coming on later. Getting more into the offense and this that. So let's see. That's the advantage, bud. Man, that's the advantage that I wish I had. I don't live 2 hours away. Shit, I don't even live. Close to the stadium. I got to fly. Imagine that was my one thing. I was trying to talk to my job. I said, man, let me just cover the Dallas area. I said, I'll cover my territory, my normal territory. Just throw me over Dallas. That way I could go there for every game. So, but anyway, maybe someday that'll happen. 5 minutes from I saw a bunch of people out by the beach. So yeah, it's close to the water. Weather's good. How's the hotel situation? You live there, but I mean, can you get hotels at a reasonable price? Oh, here we go. There I go. I just saw it. You answered my question. $100 a night. That's not bad, especially in California. Shoot, man, that's not bad at all. So definitely gotta make that list. But anything else, you're looking at you look around the NFL. You're seeing a few injuries. You got OBJ, I guess, is getting something done. You had Burrow getting hurt. This is the part where we all get nervous with training camp, and the question comes: Do you play your guys in preseason? I hear a lot of talk of it. Play Dak, play these guys in preseason, and it's one of those things, man. I think you do. I think you do. I think you give them a series. You get you just get in that rhythm. I think you just want to get in that rhythm. But if no one else is doing it, then I guess maybe you don't, because no one has an advantage unless you want to take that advantage. But the only problem is the minute that someone gets hurt, then it's gonna be like, why were you playing them? Why do you have them in there? It's only preseason. So it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I know McCarthy gets really, he's one of those player. Was it player man? Is it load management? I think it is. He gives a lot of his older guys and veterans time off. The practices aren't as physical, but that's kind of the way the collective bargaining agreement kind of went. They're not doing scrimmages. They're not doing joint practices with other teams this year too, which was interesting. So it's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in preseason. But August 12th, you guys come hang out. Come if you don't get the game, I'll do some play-by-play for you. Maybe sneak a video in so you can see the game if you guys don't live in the area where you get it. Your boy has the hookup. So anyway, there's always a hotel in the hood. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I want to make sure my car's there when I wake up, but yeah, well, I've stayed in some, you got to remember, I'm from South Florida. I've stayed in every hotel that you could imagine. So none of that stuff worries me. So I got no issues. Let's see. Only time I did go to camp, I had to split everything with a friend. Yeah, well, that's I think if you get a group together, definitely would help. And yeah, next year, carpool. If you pick me up, man, that's one less thing I got to worry about, right? So I'd definitely be down with that. And what's up from Arlington? I got to ask my Texas peeps that fight last night. I talked about it a little earlier. I mean, how is Texas feeling? Spence, man. There was a lot of hype. Thought it would be a much better fight, but man, Crawford absolutely. What we used to say back in the day, gave him a boxing lesson. I mean, he was hurting him with the jab, which usually your jab is setting up your power punches, but his jab was the power punch. And I was surprised. I'm not surprised that Crawford won. I mean, it could have kind of went either way, but I was surprised at the beating he got. And would he knock him down three times? Three times? I could have knocked him down four. The ref, they thankfully stopped it. I thought they could have stopped it even earlier than that. He just looked like he couldn't get nothing done, and he was just taking a beating, and it just wasn't his night. And they asked him after because he has a clause in there for a rematch. He says he wants it. I don't know if I'd do that. I might be looking for someone else to fight, but I think it was either Tuck or someone put in there. I mean, that's how amazing. You look at Floyd Mayweather, whether you like him or you don't like, whatever your opinion is of him as a boxer. I mean, probably the best pure boxer that I've ever seen. I mean, he never got hit. He never got hit. He was always clean after his fights. So, yeah. So anyway, I love boxing. I miss the boxing of the days old with Hagler, Leonard Hearns, and all those guys. But I agree with playing them. Give them a few reps, game speed against actual defenders. You hate to see an injury, but I think shaking the rust is better. I mean, injuries are going to happen. I mean, you can't live in fear. I guess that's what I would say. I think I would be, obviously smart series, 2 series. Once you see some rhythm, get them out, kind of thing. Get your feet wet. So Spencer looked high walking into the ring. Yeah, he did. Uncle Cheech. If you guys follow the cave, Uncle Cheech, he talked about it, and he sent me a text, and I put it on Twitter. And I think it was that afternoon or before the fight. He had said, "Hey, I heard Spence had trouble making weight. Give me Crawford." And that, I mean, when you're trying to cut weight so much, anyone who's done it, I wrestled, so I know cutting weight. There was a time, man, I had to lose like 6 pounds the night before a match, and I went in there about 30 seconds into the match. I was done. Ended up getting my ass kicked. And I told my coaches, man, I'm not cutting weight again. If I got to go up in weight and I got to beat the guy who's at that weight, it is what it is. But I just can't do it, because I'd rather that than go and just get my ass kicked, because I cut a lot of weight. But yeah, he didn't look right. He didn't look right. Yeah, he looked drained, no strength in his legs. I think go back to cutting the weight. And I should have listened to Uncle Cheech. I should have listened to Uncle Cheech and should have put some money on Crawford once because Uncle Cheech he's Vegas. He knows his stuff, and he's a boxing historian. So I never doubt what he says. He's always been money. Yeah, I mean, they're going to try and fight at 54. Maybe it'll be better, but it just looked like, I don't know, Crawford was. I mean, he was that much better. I mean, it was pretty apparent. But I mean, you never know. Tony Romo has career ending preseason, so I definitely don't like starters playing. Yeah, I mean, he did, but he's had that back problem. I mean, that was just it. So, you could look at it and say, man, it's just like Tyron Smith when, he's going to get hurt. It's not if, but when. And when he got hurt, early, it was like, oh man, it was in training camp. I'd rather be done now. And then he's back. Same thing with Romo. Obviously he didn't come back. But that gave us an opportunity to get Dak more playing time in preseason. So it was almost like, it was better in a way, for some weird way that you could say it. He took the lead. It wasn't like it happened during the season. But I mean, injuries are part of the game, and you can't live in fear. So I'm just, anyway. Cutting weight now, and points got dizzy yesterday. Yeah. Don't cut too much, man. You gotta be careful. If you gotta do it, don't do it quick. Do it smart. Seen a lot of things happen. People cutting weight, man. You gotta be careful. Definitely gotta be careful. You mean Kelly get an Airbnb in California? Yeah, maybe. Just got to see what it's like. Like I said, I don't know a ton out there. I don't know how far it is from I got some family in San Diego, but I'm guessing it's probably far from there because I think it's LA. So definitely gonna figure. If I do it, I'll figure something out for sure. So it's gonna be good. So anyway, Cowboys Nation, like I said, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe, share, spread the news to other Cowboy fans who don't know. We've got a great, I love this channel. I love Mondays with Jimmy D. Obviously, Kelly and I have a great time. We got the fantasy football show. We've got interviews coming up. Kyle Yeoman's this week, this Wednesday, special night because your boy's going to be out of town Thursday night. So Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. He's from DallasCowboy.com. You see him all over Twitter. He's inside, I think Inside the Huddle he does, or Inside the Star, whatever one of those other shows are. He knows the Cowboys, and he's there. So we're going to get a lot of good intel from him. And then we got Moose Johnston coming up. That should be coming up in early August. We're going to do a Cowboys preview. He's kind of giving us the date. I'm just trying to lock in the time. The only thing I'll say is, when you get these interviews, I don't know what time it'll be. If the man says I need to do it in the morning, it's going to get done in the morning. So if you can join us live, great. If not, definitely catch the replay. Tuesday, I'm dropping the interview Hall of Fame week that we did with Chuck Halley's son, Scott Halley, talking about his father's career, what it means getting the Hall of Fame. Finally, it's been way too long. I mean, it's really not fair. And it's sad he's suffering from dementia. So that's why his son is speaking on his behalf, letting everyone, kind of educating some of the younger fans about the career that Chuck Halley had. Just a great NFL career. So make sure you guys check that out. And then, of course, we'll be live Monday with me and Jimmy D talking everything football, not just Cowboys, so we can cover it. And then, like I said, Tuesday will be the fantasy football debut show. It's Jason, it's Danny, my brother, my son, and another guy, Vince. So it's 4 different personalities. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Anyone who knows my brother, the what he brings is it's gonna be funny. Yeah, he should have been a comedic writer. He's so fast with his comeback. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. So make sure you guys support that. Tune in if you're a fantasy football fan. You don't have to be a Cowboys fan. If you just love fantasy football, they're just talking straight up fantasy football, and it's unbiased. I have a Giants fan on there, a Bucks fan on there, a Cowboys fan on there, and a Broncos fan on there. So they cover the NFC, AFC. At least I got my son there to defend my Cowboys and hopefully defend me. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you guys check it out. We got so many great things going, but more importantly, I appreciate you guys supporting us. And Cuts by Jones, lastly, is going to be giving away one of his custom cuts as soon as we hit our 2,000 subscriber. We're getting closer and closer. I think we picked up like 100 new subscribers in the last 2 weeks. So it's getting closer and closer, and thanks to you guys. So once we do that, we'll be doing a live giveaway. So that'll be your opportunity to definitely check that out. So it's going to be fun. We gave away a Micah Parsons signed photo at the 1,000th. We got that. And then, of course, the Cowboys Cave tailgate party. It's going to be happening. It's going to be live. We talked about, we're thinking my man Eugene Lockhart's going to be coming out by the cave, the tailgate. So we're going to have a lot of fun. So make sure you guys check that out. It's going to be fun. And not only is Fred the real deal with his cuts. I don't know if you guys saw his grilling skills, but he's coming. He's bringing the grill. We're gonna be cooking up some stuff. So it is going to be a lot of fun, man. And it's hopefully coming off the win against the Giants, facing Aaron Rodgers. What more do you want, man? What more do you want? Be at AT&T Stadium, hanging out with Cowboys Nation, having a great time. Maybe bumping into a player or two. Maybe they come out. So it's going to be good. So Cowboys Nation, appreciate all the support. Make sure you hit that like. The like helps us out. Don't cost you nothing. Make sure you hit that subscribe. It don't cost you nothing either. So anyway, you guys take care. I will see you tomorrow night back at our normal time live in the cave. You guys have a great Sunday. Enjoy yourself.